Dine da ini kapji ngapuni ini tanda terwa jauju terwa ini jauju thoma pe ni jaga chung ya jauju shia ni song dine ini kalsa jauju shi tanda ter ini jaga chung ter she na ni ini musmar se ade ne le shi sa sa musmar se ade asong na kong ke ini te ta ga ma shi so ka sa ga ni bu so ka sa ga jauju pe wo tin zum sa ne ni ju sa de ini musmar se ade she ini te logic is de ini tidak dapat ini tidak jalan juga ini terjadi kambata sahaja tujuh kambata terjadi nanti jadi logik sendiri ini dapat ini kan porsan dia yang mana jadi susun rumah sebu jadi tidak lah ini tahu betul begitu jadi di rumah boleh di sini sah siswa dulu ini begitu sanji siswa sanji kita masih ada jadi tinggal tu ada ini di songan tu sebenarnya sungguh sih sebenarnya tapi ya ini bersegi sihat tu ini bahasa Jepang agak saya tadi sungguh singgi Jepang agak bahasa saya saya ini tidak kita ini sesuatu pikir lagi sesuatu kamu ini yesus lega langsung saya kamu ini suara orang Jepang kamu tidak sesuatu ini agak sesuatu ribu sini ini mega presiden guys.
So then in 1959 everything changed in Tibet and His Holiness the Dalai Lama had escaped into India. And thousands of Tibetans followed him. So first they reached in the northeastern part of Tibet called Mizamari, and where they spent about a year. Of course, they were very much welcomed by the government of India and the people of India, and they supported everything. Then His Holiness thought that, well, we cannot just, rely upon people and just eat whatever they provide. So now we need to find a way to stand on our own feet. Yeah. So then he thought about all these different plans to set up Tibetan schools to educate the young Tibetans both in the modern subjects and also in the traditional Tibetan subjects. And he also tried to collect monk representatives from all the four traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya and Gyalo first. And so then slowly they were all spread into different parts of India, established different monasteries, different settlements for Tibetan people, different handicraft centers to be self-sufficient. And so His Holiness basically established the whole rehabilitation program for all the Tibetan people in India. So then from northeastern part of Tibet, slowly he moved to another place in India called Mussoorie, where His Holiness Dalai Lama, he continued his education still with his two tutors, Ling Rinpoche and Tijan Rinpoche. And also along with him there were Tibetan government officials, and slowly they moved, they set up a Tibetan government in exile called Central Tibetan Administration.
ini lewu jasa kerja, ini tensa lapar kerja, ini perlu mau kita soal riba, ini minum soal riba lo lapar kerja, ini sisa kerja, ini gua kan soal kita sisa dan jawab tu sini, ini lagi pada dia kerja dah, yang kita sini, ini mata bahasa cabang jiran kerja itu kakak tu berarti, ini jual. ini 사장 제자리야 가봤던가 니송도 뭐 디레샤리 야지신 ini 거기서다 변조다 중에서 또는 야지신에 ini 다 경상도 세위나 ini 다 불진주셔부 경수선에다 부르와라 ini 너무 벌야劳动다 벌야 달짝수에 ini 중간가 사장 지정터가 마시 ini 현재스 가가 ini 프레셔도 지가 ini tinggal kiri tola be, ini ruang jaga kage, ini sungai nota, pembadik saudara semua.
So His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he set up Tibetan government exile based upon democratic system, and then also as I mentioned before, he established Tibetan settlements across India. He set up Tibetan schools, he set up institutions to preserve Tibetan culture and tradition. So he set up a Tibetan Astro-Medical Institute, he set up a library of Tibetan works and archives, he set up Tibet houses, And he set up many institutions to be able to preserve our traditional educational system. And I mentioned before that initially we had about 1,500 monks who had gathered at place. Now today, you see, Tibetan monasteries have been re-established, and maybe each monastery has about 1,000 to 2,000 monks studying, and their main focus has to be monastic education, and now they're also given some modern education as well. Then the lay Tibetan children are all educated in both Tibetan and modern education. So there is not one Tibetan child left in India who does not receive education both in Tibetan and modern education. So His Holiness, today we are thriving as refugee communities in India, and so our best job we have done is to preserve our Buddhist tradition and Tibetan culture and Tibetan education along with modern education. So the young Tibetans can now walk shoulder to shoulder with the young people from across the world in terms of their education. So now, as you all know it well, His Holiness has become, as a matter of fact, one of the greatest international leaders, especially in terms of moral ethics and bring about world peace and harmony. But he travels across the world to be able to spread his messages of love, harmony, understanding, friendship, non-violence. And so today he is seen as not just a leader of Tibetan people, but he is perhaps the greatest master of ethics and world peace that we have today. I understand that His Holiness the Dalai Lama's biographies and autobiographies have been translated into English and in many other languages. And probably some of you are here who know more about His Holiness Dalai Lama than what I could tell you within this short time. But I'm really glad to be able to have this opportunity to say a few words about His Holiness. So I want to dedicate whatever merit I have gained from here for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and for the peace and happiness of the world, and for the flourishing of Dharma across the world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Tôi muốn biết là lịch sử của His Holiness the Dalai Lama thứ 14 đã được viết bằng nhiều thứ tiếng, trong đó tiếng Việt. Tôi muốn biết luôn nữa.
Venerable Sangha members,